Summer is coming. And if you're a teacher, it's your chance to double your income, assuming you have a summer paycheck. If you're already a tutor, this is your chance to not fall into the summer slump from your year round clients. What if you use these next few months building up to summer to build a tutoring specialty that brings in higher rates and incredible clients? That's exactly what we're talking about today. I help others build a flexible, profitable online tutoring business like me. Welcome to the tutor life. So here's the picture. It's May, school is winding down, and teachers fall into one of two camps. The first group is just relieved. They're exhausted and they just need to decompress for the entire summer. I get it. I've been there too. Totally legit. The second group, though, starts to feel a little antsy after about 3 weeks into summer and wishes they had planned better so they could be making some extra cash while out for summer break. Or you're a tutor who's getting all kinds of cancellations for the summer with promises to pick back up in the fall, but no guarantees. Your income just got cut in half. What do you do? This video is for both groups because whether you want to make extra money this summer or you're a tutor trying to avoid the slow season, the answer is the same. Tutoring specialization. The tutors I've seen that charge the most and stay the busiest, including myself, all have one thing in common. They don't try to tutor everything. They own something specific. So when you're a generalist, you compete with everyone. You're on Wyzant next to 50 other tutors, all offering math help or reading help, and the parent just picks based on the price. But when you specialize, the conversation changes completely. A parent isn't comparing you to anyone. They're asking if you're available. That is the very top text I get, the beginning of every text that I get from almost every parent. Are you available? Not, hey, I heard you tutor this subject. What are your prices? Uh, what do you do? I don't get those kind of questions very often. I get, are you available this summer to tutor my student in SAT or ACT or whatever else specialty that I have or that other tutors have? So this can be the difference between a $30 per hour tutoring business and a $100 plus per hour tutoring business. Specialists are seen as experts. Clients come to you already pre-convinced. They need what you specifically offer. You can charge a premium because the demand is specific and you are the only one who can meet that market, or at least the only one they know of or have reached out to yet, or the only one who actually has availability possibly, and they're excited to get on that list. So your marketing becomes easier and you know exactly who you're talking to and what to say. So here's the good news. I bet you already have a specialty, whether you're a teacher in the classroom or you're a year-round tutor with a tutoring business already, but you haven't figured out what to specialize in. I bet it's already there built into you. You just might not be framing it the right way yet. So ask yourself, what do you teach? What are you genuinely good at? What do students in your school struggle with most? If you're a teacher, that's your starting point. Here's some questions to help you thinking about your niche. Are you a strong math teacher? If so, maybe AP courses or SAT, ACT math is something that you could specialize in. Do you teach English or writing? You know what's booming right now? College essay writing, especially in the summertime. If you are an English or writing teacher, college essays is the way to go. I'll speak about that a little bit more in a minute. Are you in special education or reading intervention? This might be your biggest opportunity. Tutoring reading over the summer is a super high demand summer subject. Everybody wants their child to catch up or get ahead or stay on level and not lose any of their reading ability through the summer. Or maybe you work with students who have learning challenges. Could you do ADHD coaching, executive function coaching, test taking strategies, or dyslexia support? They are all high demand specialties. If you have any type of knowledge of those areas, you can completely market yourself in that way. You don't have to reinvent yourself. You just have to package what you already know and what you already can do. For me, let's talk about my specialties, just so you know where I'm coming from. I could just say I'm a math tutor. I taught high school math. That was my area. But what do I tutor? I don't just say I tutor high school math. I tutor AP math. I tutor AP calculus, AP statistics, AP pre-calc. I also tutor SAT and ACT test prep, not just the math, but the English and grammar and reading side as well, all of it. And now that I've explored and furthered my specialties into different areas, I, talking about college essays a minute ago, I am a college essay specialist as well. Every one of these specialties that I do is a very high ticket niche with families actively searching for exactly that help. These are my specialties and keep me in high demand. Families start preparing earlier than ever for a lot of these. I'll tell you right now, if you're following these videos with me week by week, it is February right now. I already have a wait list started for this summer. And rates of $80 to $150 per hour are common. And I know some tutors that charge even more than that when you specialize. Let's talk about five different specialty areas for you to consider. Maybe these work for you, maybe they don't, but just to give you some ideas and talk a little bit more in detail about some of these. So SAT, ACT, test prep. You can see I've got my books right behind me on my shelf. It's a huge business, especially in the summertime. That's when students actually have time to focus on the test and to study in order to apply to college in the fall of their senior year. So it's a booming business now more than ever for online tutors because both tests have gone digital themselves within the last couple of years. The ACT is still transitioning, it's half digital, half paper, but it's moving in that direction rapidly. And post COVID years, when a lot of colleges dropped the requirement to have one of these tests to come into college, that's been picked back up now by almost every college where they are requiring either the SAT or ACT test scores be submitted. So that means there is a huge percentage of graduating high school students that will need to have taken at least one of these tests in order to go on to college. Think about the number of students out there going from sophomore to junior year, or really junior to senior year. It's huge. I can't help every student that comes to me. That's why I've decided to even start Daisy Loose the Tutor Life here and start reaching out so that I can help other tutors get up to speed tutoring the SAT or ACT and hopefully reach students that you know, because uh, all students can use some help with those tests to perform their very best. So that's a really big specialization area. But what else? College essays, I mentioned. This also, I find college essay tutoring is one of the most underutilized, let me see if I can say it, the most underutilized tutoring niches. And parents will pay for someone to guide their student through the college application process, but specifically the part of writing the college essay. And you have several different college essays. Most students have the big college essay they have to write for the Common App, which is the app that students use when they're applying to college. And there's the biggest essay on that one. But then you also have individual college essays that have to be done depending on which college you're applying to. That's a huge part of my summer business. That's when students need to be doing their essays. That's when they need to get this done so that it's not something they have to do on top of homework during the school year. And parents love having somebody else who knows what they're doing step in and help their child write these essays and get them done on time. It's not something the parent and child has to struggle and fight with. I can step in, and parents are happy to pay for somebody to help their child get that essay done, not just done, but done well. And as an expert, I know exactly what needs to go into those essays. And also, this is a big one, how to watch for AI in the essays. I've seen so much of it. It's pretty easy to spot as an college essay tutor, and I guarantee it's easy for the college readers that are going through all the essays. I guarantee they can spot the AI stuff as well without having to run it through some AI program. So if you can specialize and become an expert in that area, if you already are in the English field or in writing in any way, I don't think it takes very long to get up to speed on how to become a specialist in that area. I'm even considering putting together a program for tutors to help them become specialists in college essays so you can see exactly what I do. Like I said, that's a really easy one. And we're in February right now. That's one you could get done and be ready for this summer. And but we'll talk about that at a later time. I'm still just playing around with that idea, but I'm getting a lot of questions about it, so I think it might be something I end up doing. Okay, what else? If you have a background in reading instruction or special ed, and you have younger elementary or middle school, this is actually one of the most in-demand certifications in education right now. It is a full certification program. You might know what I'm about to say. It's the Orton-Gillingham certification for structured literacy approach. And this is used for students with dyslexia and reading challenges. I am not a certified OG tutor, but I know a lot of reading specialists who do get this certification and then end up being specialized tutors in this area. And I know a lot of parents who are looking specifically for this type of tutor. So if you're able to put that down, I'm not as familiar with this area since I don't do it, so I don't know how long the certification program takes, but this would be something I would definitely be looking into if I'm thinking of doing some tutoring this summer. All right. And then what else? Oh, take separate from the literacy certifications, there's also a growing demand for tutors who can work effectively with students who have ADD or ADHD, executive function challenges, or other learning disabilities. When I taught in the classroom, there was a high percentage of students at my school who struggled with learning disabilities of different types or dyslexia. We had a very small classroom model because of that, so that each teacher could reach each child in a very specific way so that everybody was successful if they wanted success. I love the program. I love the school. I love the program. I loved everything about it. Would I consider myself a specialist in ADD and ADHD or learning disabilities within specifically in high school math? Yes, I would. Do I specialize in that and market that way? I actually don't. At this point, I found the subjects that I really have honed in on and specialized. And honestly, I just don't have more time in my schedule to expand my marketing further. And I don't need to. I'm full. I'm on a wait list, as I already said, and I don't need more. But this would be I know it's an area of high need, and I do use my skills of what I know about different learning styles and learning disabilities when I do have students of they just come into my program not looking for specifically that help, but when I spot that that's what's going on, I can give them the specialized care and help that they need in tutoring without promoting that as part of my business. So that's a big one. And then finally, I haven't talked about this one yet, and I'm not going to say much here in this video. I think I might do another longer video on just this concept, but in many areas, this is the highest paid tutoring adjacent work that I've seen in the past couple of years pop up. And every single person that I know in my area that does this is on a 2-year wait list. And that is college counseling for families. where they guide the family through the entire application process. I just do the college essay portion. I do give sometimes advice to students since the college essay is part of the Common App that I was talking about. I do give them advice on that sometimes, but this is a really big deal for a lot of families that they want to hire a college counselor who will walk them through the entire process because families don't know what's going on a lot of times with all the details of the application process, what a college is looking for exactly. It starts when they're younger of what courses they need to be taking in high school. So a lot of times these college counselors get clients and have them over the span of a few years. And it's probably why they're booked up, but also I just know there aren't a ton of college counselors. Um, I have toyed with the idea of maybe again adding that specialty on because I am so familiar with it since I do SAT, ACT, and college essays. But at this point, I really love what I've focused in on. And so I'm just going to stick with this for now. But it is a very, very high area of need. So if that's something you're interested in, that also, I think, I don't know if you'd want to get up and running with that just this summer, but it's something to think about if you're a full-time tutor of adding that into your business. All right. And then let's wrap this up. Summer is actually the perfect time to invest in a new specialty. You've already thought about this probably because you have time and the next school year is still months away. So even if you don't get everything perfected this summer, you can start investing into your tutoring abilities and specializations for the next summer if you're deciding to stay in the classroom. Or teachers, what about early retirement? I just told you I was in the classroom for several years, and as you can see, I'm not anymore. I moved out of the classroom. I now do tutoring, and I work half of the hours I did in the classroom. And this is the life of freedom. I absolutely love tutoring, as you already know. That's why I'm here with the Tutor Life, just trying to help other people on their journeys too. So if that's something that interests you, keep it in the back of your mind. Maybe start pre- preparing those steps as you maybe think about stepping out of teaching in the classroom and move into tutoring instead. The only thing standing between where you are and $100 plus per hour tutoring business is the decisions you're making right now as you're moving into summer and what you want to specialize in. So pick one thing, package it, charge what it's worth, and summer is the perfect time to start. If you want to learn more about setting up your online tutoring business and specializing high demand tutoring niches like me, click subscribe, follow me here at Daisy Luce, the Tutor Life. Talk to you again soon, friend. Bye-bye.